Meantime, a special church service held on the island of Abaco today in observance of the one-year anniversary of Hurricane Dorian. Our Megan Shepard of the Northern News Service reports from there tonight.
September 1st, 2019, a day that the Commonwealth of the Bahamas will never forget. The day that Hurricane Dorian swept through the island of Abaco. For many, they call it historic. For others, indeed, it was traumatic. But there is no doubt that generations of Abaconians will never forget that day. 1 year later, Abaconians paused to reflect on that deadly storm, but more important, to give God thanks for the way forward. It was a day of praise and worship, a time to remember those that perished in the wake of Hurricane Dorian, a time for survivors to reflect and give God thanks, and a time for Abaconians to look forward for a brighter future. The Abaco Christian Council coming together Tuesday morning to host a service of memoriam and thanksgiving. Pastor Marvin Mills opening the service with a word of encouragement.
I come by to tell somebody that it's going to be all right. You can only believe that when you believe in the God in whom you serve. You can only believe that when you trust or trusting in the God you serve.
Pastor Silbert Mills passionately recalling the events of September 1st, 2019, that he says left the island that he loves resembling a war zone. However, Mills says he was immediately convinced that this island must be rebuilt, and rebuilt even better, as he doesn't see destruction, but rather he sees opportunity for a brand new Abaco.
12 months later, ladies and gentlemen, we look better. The storm came to break us, not to take us. Hashtag Abaco Strong. This storm came to knock us down, not to knock us out. Hashtag Abaco Strong. We are pleased with the help, but we need more help. Yes, more help is really needed. Over 600 homeowners received help in Abaco from the Disaster Reconstruction Authority Board. Abaco, 802 of you have been approved by the DRA for assistance. The DRA has successfully cleaned up more than 98% of all of the debris within our communities and surrounding areas.
Member of Parliament for North Abaco, the Honorable Darren Henfield, says he was determined to be on the island today to reflect and worship with residents, noting that this process is always his top priority. The minister says that as a Christian nation, now is the time to practice what we preach and walk by faith.
Keep the faith. Stay strong. Continue to rely on each other. That's what brought us through on the 1st of September. We relied on each other. We didn't ask any color, any race. We didn't ask where you come from when you came into the government complex. We said, open the doors and let all come in. Pray for your government, because despite being in the aftermath of Dorian, here we are now fighting with COVID. 50% of the Bahamian people unemployed. Have to have government assistance. That means that pull a tug on what the government wanted to do. Yes. But we got to find it, eh? And you got to pray that we find it. And so I ask that you pray for your government, pray for one another, and I say this to you again as I take my seat. Look out for your brother and your sister. We went through a lot of trauma. I said, I am so proud of my people who have built themselves up from the ground, where we found ourselves after Dorian with nothing, and look at where we are now. We did it. With a lot of help from the international community, with a lot of help from our friends. God sent the help to us.
Chief Counselor for the Central Abaco District, George Cornish, commending all first responders and utility companies that helped to bring a sense of normalcy back to the island. He says he was pleased to see the way that Abaconians pulled together immediately after the monster storm.
Many have lost loved ones, businesses, homes, jobs, but we have not lost faith and hope. After the storm, we were all
there was one race, no color, no class. We came together to help one another. We stood by each other. We sheltered each other. And we comforted each other. This is the attitude that we need to continue in our communities. Let us shoulder each other's burden, and let us be our brother's keeper. Although Abaco was physically destroyed, the spirit of the people of Abaco was stronger than ever before.
President of the Abaco Christian Council, Pastor Egbert Tinker, delivering the sermon to residents. He reminded the congregation that God is still on the throne, that you must praise Him in the good times and in the bad times, and to be prepared for the blessings to come.
You got to be around for the after this. Listen to me. Don't go get all excited and get yourself on. This thing's still taking people out. But you better have your own sound mind. Listen to me. He promised to keep us in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on Him. I don't care what the devil tell me. It's going to get better. I don't care how bad it look. Long as God is alive and God is on the throne, I challenge you today, Abaco. I challenge you to Commonwealth of the Bahamas to be around for the after this, because it's coming. I see a new day.
Residents then made their way to Arawak Dock, where they laid flowers in the water in remembrance of those that died during Hurricane Dorian. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.